Today we will discuss about our next one concept of chapter number 7, which is the consumption function. Up to the previous topic, we have studied about the concept of the aggregate demand, the component of the aggregate demand in the different sectors, as well as we have also studied about the concept of the aggregate supply. Now we already know about it that the aggregate demand is mainly related to the consumption expenditure and the investment expenditure in the economy. So here now we will discuss about the next one topic, which is the consumption function. So simply we know very well कि जो household consumption expenditure करता है, that is very much important component of the aggregate demand, and generally it is mainly related to the income of the consumer. कि एक person के पास जितना ज्यादा पैसा होगा वो उतना ज्यादा क्या करेगा, स्पेंड करेगा, और जितना कम पैसा होगा वो उतना ही कम स्पेंड करेगा. सो देयर इज अ पर्टिकुलर रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द income and the expenditure of a consumer. So the functional relationship between the income and the consumption, C and Y, is known as the consumption function. Simply we can say the relationship between the consumption and the income is known as the consumption function. ये मेनली क्या शो करता है कि जो हाउस होल्ड लेवल पर जो भी स्पेंडिंग की जाती है, जो भी पैसा खर्च किया जाता है, वो एक इकोनॉमी के अंदर जितना भी इनकम लेवल आ रहा है उसके अकॉर्डिंग वो किस तरीके से बिहेवियर कर रहा है. So simply there are some basic point, there are some conclusions on the basis of which we can say there is a particular relationship between the income and the consumption here. So which kind of the relationship are there, we will see about it. तो जनरली जब भी एक कंजम्पशन को इनकम के साथ स्टडी किया जाता है तो देयर आर सम कंक्लूजन्स व्हिच इज दैट द फर्स्ट वन पॉइंट इज देयर इज ऑलवेज सम मिनिमम लेवल ऑफ सी. देयर इज ऑलवेज सम मिनिमम लेवल ऑफ सी इवन व्हेन द इनकम इज जीरो. इट मींस कि चाहे एक इकोनॉमी के अंदर इनकम का लेवल जीरो ही क्यों ना हो, मींस अगर एक ह्यूमन बीइंग के पास पैसा नहीं भी है तब भी वहां पर क्या होगा, देर विल बी द मिनिमम लेवल ऑफ कंजम्पशन. एक कम से कम एक लेवल इकोनॉमी में जरूर होगा कंजम्पशन का, क्योंकि कोई भी ह्यूमन बीइंग बिना कंज्यूम किए सरवाइव नहीं कर सकता. सो विच इज नोन एज द ऑटोनोमियस कंजम्पशन. एंड एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वी कैन से दैट इज द नेगेटिव सेविंग. इट मीन्स नेगेटिव सेविंग. वी कैन से कि जब एक ह्यूमन बीइंग के पास इनकम का लेवल इवन जीरो है तो चाहे वो पैसा बोरो कर रहा है, चाहे वो कुछ भी तरीके से कर रहा है, द पर्सन इज डूइंग सम कंजम्पशन. they are just consuming the goods and services in order to survive, which is known as the autonomous consumption. After that, the second one conclusion is there, which is we can say that the consumption is positively related to the income. consumption जो है वो income से positively relate है. it means if there is an increase in income, there is an increase in consumption, or if there is decrease in income, there is decrease in consumption also. आफ्टर दैट द थर्ड वन कंक्लूजन इज देयर कि इनकम में जितना भी इंक्रीज होता है एक पर्टिकुलर पीरियड के अंदर, मींस एक सपोज एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड के अंदर इनकम जो है इंक्रीज होती जा रही है, बट एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम के बाद क्या आएगा कि वो सारी की सारी इनकम को कंजम्पशन में कन्वर्ट नहीं किया जाएगा. इट मीन्स कि पर्सन की अगर इनकम बढ़ती जा रही है तो एक टाइम ऐसा आएगा कि वो अपने इनकम का कुछ पार्ट जो है वो क्या करना शुरू कर देगा, सेव करना शुरू कर देगा. सो दैट द रेट जिस पे जनरली सी इंक्रीज करता है, नो डाउट कि जैसे जैसे इनकम इंक्रीज करती है, जिस रेट से इनकम इंक्रीज करती है और जिस रेट से कंजम्पशन इंक्रीज होती है, दैट इज ऑलवेज द लेस अमाउंट. वी कैन से दैट कंजम्पशन इज इंक्रीजिंग बट एट ए लोअर रेट देन द इनकम इंक्रीजेस. कि कंजम्पशन इंक्रीज तो करेगी इनकम के साथ रेशो में, बट इनकम के कम्पीट में एक पॉइंट के बाद वो कम इंक्रीज करना शुरू कर देगी. आफ्टर दैट वी कैन सी दिस behavior of consumption with respect to the y like this: the consumption function with the help of a tabular presentation, as well as the consumption function with the help of a diagrammatically presentation. So here we can prove the behavior of consumption with respect to a particular, with respect to the income, with the help of a table here like this. Income is 0, increasing 50, 100, 150. Consumption is 20. It means at the level of income, at the level when income is 0, there is still the 20 consumption. It means this is the 20 is the minimum level of consumption. This is the level of C when income is 0. It means this is the autonomous consumption. Now we can see income increase हुई, consumption भी increase हुआ. Here still the income is less than the consumption. It means negative saving. Now this is a point where income is increases, consumption is also increases, but both of these are equal to each other. After that, still income is increases, consumption is also increases, but now this is less than the income of a consumer. So here we can conclude it very easily with the help of a diagram. We can say with the help of a table initially, we can get the conclusions very easily that 20 is the minimum level of consumption. Then C, consumption is rises, consumption जो है वो increase हो रहा है with respect to the increase in the income. So consumption is the positively related to the income. और जिस रेट पे हमारा consumption increase हो रहा है, that is always the lower rate than the y increases. जैसे हमारा y जो है हर बार 50 के रेट से increase हो रहा है, but हमारा consumption जो है वो हर बार 40 के रेट से increase हो रहा है. So there is a difference between the income, increases in income and increases in consumption, and which is ultimately giving the symbol of the savings. कि consumer क्या करना शुरू कर देता है, save करना शुरू कर देता है. As like we can see very well in the table that the consumption, the income is increasing by the 50 at every level we can say, but the consumption is increasing by 40 at every level. So income and consumption is increasing, both of these are increasing, but at a lower rate than the income. Now we can represent this thing in a form of a diagram also. Diagrammatically we can say the data is mainly related to the consumption and income. We will plot it on a graph and it will be shown like this. Simply we can see very well here. This is the on x-axis, this is the income. This is 0 to 50 to 100 and 150. And on y-axis, this is the consumption. So simply the first 1.0 was there, still there was the minimum consumption, right? The 0 was there and still there was the minimum consumption, 0 and minimum consumption. Okay, then 50 was there and there was the 60, then 100 and 100, then 150 and 140. And in this point sports we can say our consumption was behaving in such a manner that it is going from the upward level, and our income is behaving in the angle of 45 degree we can say. And this is our point where both of these are coincide each other. It means this is point is known as the break even point, where the income is equivalent to the consumption. No saving, no extra amount is there. जितनी भी income एक consumer earn कर रहा है, that is entire amount is going to be spent by the consumer. So this is the diagrammatically presentation of consumption function. Now the question arises that what is the slope of the consumption function, or we can say slope of the C line, consumption line का slope क्या है? So simply it is also known as the marginal propensity to consume. As like we have studied about the slope of the demand curve, the slope of the supply curve in microeconomics, we will also study here about the slope of the consumption function as well as in the future in the later one topics of this chapter also. This is also known as the marginal propensity to consume. तो स्लोप क्या होता है? सिंपली कंजम्पशन फंक्शन का, कंजम्पशन लाइन का. द स्लोप इज मेनली सिंपली वी कैन से इट रेफर्स टू द रेट कि जिसमें जो है सी हमारा कंजम्पशन जो है वो इंक्रीज कर रहा है विद रेफरेंस टू द इन रिस्पॉन्स टू द गिवन इंक्रीज इन द इनकम, कि ये किसके बीच में रेशो आ जाता है कि हमारे सी में कितना इंक्रीज हुआ ड्यू टू द इंक्रीज इन द income. So simply this is the ratio between the additional consumption due to the additional income, we can say. This is measured as the ratio between the change in income, increase in income, change in consumption, increase in consumption due to the change in income, increase in income, which is known as the marginal propensity to consume. It means कि अगर हम बात करें कि MPC क्या होता है, तो you will just have to write that MPC is simply equivalent to the change in consumption due to the change in income. MPC is equivalent to the slope of the consumption line, which will be equivalent to the change in income due to the change in consumption. कि जैसे हमने previous example में किया, consumption में कितना change आया 40, किसकी वजह से change आया, income में आने वाली change की वजह से. So marginal propensity to consume is 0.8, or the marginal propensity, or as well as we can say the slope of the consumption line will be 0.8. Here in this diagram we can calculate it very easily, that this is the income and this is the consumption. तो 100 एक हमारा पॉइंट था जिसपे ये दोनों एक दूसरे के बराबर थे, then the 140 and the 150 was there. So as per this portion we can calculate कि देखिए कितना चेंज आया. This was the change in C 40, this was the change in income. इस पॉइंट पे और इस पॉइंट में कितना फर्क आया, see this very carefully. इस पॉइंट पे और इस पॉइंट पे कितना फर्क आया, यहाँ पे चेंज कितना आया कंजम्पशन में, 100 से 140 चला गया. यहाँ पे इस और इस पॉइंट में कितना फर्क आया इनकम में, 100 to 150. So this is the change in C, this is the change in income. This is known as the slope of consumption function, which is also equivalent to the marginal propensity to consume. After that, there is a topic that APC and MPC are different concept. No doubt, जैसे कि हमने पहले स्टडी किया हुआ है, average cost, marginal cost, average product, marginal product, so many things we have studied, right? So average is mainly related to the unit directly, and marginal is mainly related to the change only, right? So there is a difference between both of these terms also. APC refers to the average propensity to consume, MPC refers to the marginal propensity to consume. Both of these are the different concept. No doubt, ये दोनों जो है एक रेशो दिखाते हैं, but APC is showing the ratio between the consumption and the income directly. It means APC आप कैसे calculate करोगे, directly consumption will be divided by directly by income. But on the opposite side, if you want to calculate the MPC, so MPC will be related to the change in consumption due to the change in income. So MPC is change in consumption due to the change in income. Okay, so both of these are the different concept. No doubt these are the ratio between consumption and income, but APC is indicating the direct ratio between consumption and income, and MPC is indicating the change, the ratio between the change in the income and the consumption. जैसे हमारी APC कैसे निकलेगी, 140 by 150 like this, और change कितना आया था 40 by 50 like this. So APC and MPC are not the similar concept, these are the different concept. APC will relate to the average, means the per unit of total income, consumption per unit of total income, but MPC it is just showing off the consumption per unit of the additional income, means change कितना आया. Okay, और जो हमारा consumption function है, that is mainly indicated by the marginal propensity to consume, not by the APC, average propensity to consume. Now the next one small topic is there. What is the slope of a straight line consumption function is constant? So MPC is also constant. कि suppose हमारा जो consumption function है, by chance वो एक straight line में है, it means कि उसका slope जो है constant है, right? तो क्या वहां पर MPC भी constant होगा? Yes, because at every point there will be the similar changes. right? So if there is a straight line of consumption function, simply we can say no doubt at every level of income there will be the similar changes. तो उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? It will be termed as the linear consumption function. It will be called as the linear consumption function. कि it means कि जितना भी इनकम में चेंज आएगा कांस्टेंट रेशियो से, उतना ही कांस्टेंट रेशियो से कंजम्पशन में चेंज आएगा। और अगर सपोज आपका कंजम्पशन फंक्शन लीनियर है, कांस्टेंट है, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपका हर पॉइंट पे सेम टू सेम ही जो होगा, उतना ही प्रोपोर्शनेट जो है इनकम का कंजम्पशन में कन्वर्ट कर दिया जाएगा। ओके, आफ्टर दैट द लास्ट वन टॉपिक रिलेटेड टू द कंजम्पशन फंक्शन, that can we represent the consumption function in the form of algebraic equation, algebraic presentation? Yes, we can represent the consumption function in the form of the algebraic expressions also. So as per the algebraic expression, if you want to calculate the consumption at any point of time or at any level of the income, you can calculate using that with the help of this equation. आप इस इक्वेशन की हेल्प से कंजम्पशन को कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो। हाउ? द सिंपल थिंग इज देयर, कंजम्पशन किसके बराबर है? सी बार। सी बार मींस ऑटोनोमियस कंजम्पशन जो कि फिक्स्ड होती है नेचर में, प्लस बी, बी रेफर्स टू द एमपीसी, मार्जिनल प्रोपेंसिटी टू कंज्यूम, जो हम कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? चेंज इन सी बाय चेंज इन वाई, एंड बी वाई, वाई रेफर्स टू द income here, right? So simply in this concept we can say कि C bar हमारा क्या है? जो है वो that is the autonomous consumption, it means the minimum level of consumption। कि ये वो वैल्यू होती है कि अगर एक पर्सन की इनकम जो है जीरो भी है, तब भी कंजम्पशन जो है वो होगा ही होगा। आफ्टर दैट द बी पैरामीटर, बी रेफर्स टू द रेट एट विच द सी इंक्रीजेस in response to the increase in y. It means change in c by change in y. It refers to the slope of c function, which is also called as the marginal propensity to consume। जैसे कि हमने पहले किया प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में, c क्या था? c बार 20, MPC was 0.8। तो अब अगर आपको किसी भी इनकम के लेवल पे कंजम्पशन को कैलकुलेट करना है, you can do it with the help of this algebraic equation. It will help you in order to calculate the value of consumption with response to the different values of income। जैसे कि हमारी सपोज इनकम की वैल्यू कितनी है? 50, 100, 150, and this is the equation। So suppose the income is 0, 20 plus 0.8 into 0, 20, 20 plus 0.8 into 50, 60, 20 plus 0.8 into 100, 100, 20 plus 0.8 into 150, 140. This is the different levels of the consumption at the different level of income. So with the help of this algebraic equation also, we can calculate the value of consumption very easily, very quickly. So this was the entire topic related to the consumption function. Consumption function refers to the functional relationship between the consumption at the different levels of income.